Episode 2. The Long Cyborg. The episode starts with Saitama getting ready to water his cactus. While he is doing that, the news on the TV announces a mosquito swarm is heading to Z City. A mosquito tries to bother Saitama while he is watering his cactus, so he tries to kill it, but every hit he tries to aim at it fails. Meanwhile, in the city that has just been abandoned, we see a burglar attempting to steal items. But just as he is able to go on, he is attacked and killed by a swarm of mosquitoes that suck all of his blood. It turns out the mosquitoes are controlled by Mosquito Girl, who seems responsible for the whole swarm. We then see a cyborg man named Genos trying to fight against Mosquito Girl. Mosquito Girl tells her mosquito swarm to attack Genos, but the attack is not affecting him as he is a cyborg. He then uses his incineration powers that blows up all the mosquitoes on him, starting to get nearly defeated by Genos after he rips her legs off, which she also ripped his arm during their fight. Mosquito Girl starts to drink all the blood from her mosquito swarm in order to gain more power. As this is happening, Saitama comes out of nowhere trying to chase the mosquito that had been bothering him. Genos warns Saitama to evacuate, but the mosquito swarm attempts to attack both of them. To save himself and Saitama, Genos uses his incineration powers again to blow up the mosquitoes surrounding them. When the huge explosion from the power ends, Genos sees Saitama naked due to the power destroying his clothes. Mosquito Girl is shown again now more powerful thanks to the blood she has consumed. She then attacks Genos, and this gives him the thought that he has no chance in defeating her. So he attempts to self-destruct. But as he is about to do it, Saitama saves his life by his using a one-hit to kill Mosquito Girl. Amazed by the strength of Saitama, Genos asks him if he can be his disciple. A few days later, Genos arrives in Saitama's apartment. Genos talks about his backstory to Saitama, much to his annoyance. We learn that at the age of 15, Genos was still a human being living a good life with his family, until a cyborg attacked his town and killed his family. He was lucky to survive, but he was too weak to move on with his life in the destroyed town. Luckily, he was found by Dr. Kusuno, who was on a mission to stop the cyborg. Dr. Kusuno then transformed Genos into a cyborg, where he promised him, with his new strength, he will destroy the cyborg that destroyed the town and killed his family. Genos then keeps taking more about his story too long that it made Saitama flip out to tell him that it's too much. Meanwhile, in a facility, a scientist named Dr. Genos, finding out that Mosquito Girl has been defeated, and finds out that Saitama is the one that defeated her. He now wants him in order to use him for his experiments. Back in the apartment, Genos asks Saitama if he can teach him to be stronger, and he says yes. Suddenly, a mantis monster comes out of nowhere but is quickly killed by a one-punch from Saitama. We then see that outside there is a slug and frog monster, that their mantis buddy might have been destroyed. Genos notices them and goes outside to attack them, but both monsters are taken out by Saitama. Saitama gets trapped in the ground by a mole monster named Ground Dragon, who is with a tall lion monster named Beast King. Meanwhile, Genos is fighting against a cyborg gorilla named Armored Gorilla, who he thinks is the cyborg that destroyed his town and his family. Saitama then escapes the ground and then warns both Beast King and Mole Monster to apologize for destroying his ceiling. Not afraid of him, Beast King tries to kill him but is then of course killed by punches from Saitama. Afraid after seeing Beast King killed, Mole Monster tries to escape underground, but Saitama finds him and kills him. Now nearly about to defeat Armored Gorilla, Genos demands questions from him. Armored Gorilla tells Genos that Beastkill and his gang will help destroy him, but Saitama shows up and Armored Gorilla realizes his gang is killed by him. He then surrenders, and it turns out that his robotic voice was just a way of sounding cool. After the end credits, we see Dr. Genos coming in a room full of clones of him, wondering the fate of the team that attempted to destroy Saitama and Genos.